So with the Honda EP3, the brake reservoir is here. So when you're bleeding the brakes, the first thing you want to do, make sure that you're topped up here, which it pretty much is. And then you want to go furthest away from the reservoir. So the reservoir's over there. The first one you want to bleed is this side, back passenger side in the UK, or back left. Then you want to do that side, so back right. Then you want to do front left, then you want to do front right. So you're working your way towards the reservoir. So we come down here.
Why is that important, Paul?
It's just the best way of doing it because the lines are longest further away from the reservoir. So, okay. What you're trying to do is get rid of any air out of the system, because fluid isn't compressible, but air is compressible. So when you put your foot down, you feel that sponginess. That's because you're compressing the tiny air bubbles in the system. So that's what you don't want to do. Now, to be fair, this is quite firm, but what I'm going to do is basically change most of the fluid out of the reservoir now in this shot, and then the other ones you're just doing the lines. So here you're going to take the reservoir quite far down, fill it right up, so you drain pretty much the reservoir, and then the others you're just going to be just drain the line. So this is the one that you need to pump the longest, if you like. See what we have here. This is a flare brake tool. It's by Signet, but you can get loads of different types. You see, it's quite a fat head on that, but also it's most of the way enclosed. If you really have issues using these, what you can do is just use a socket, single hex, crack it off and then get a normal spanner, but I advise trying to use these if you can. Then we have our brake bleeding tool. It's got a one-way valve and a straw. I'm just repurposed this old bottle for it, so I don't have to keep on changing it. So then all you need to do is slip this, go back in, and then slip this over. One thing with brake fluid, always have gloves on because it's nasty stuff. And see that's over there and there, like that. And then you crack the valve open. So that's open there. Then I get my friendly colleague to go inside the car, and I'll hold the camera. So the reservoir's open. As in the cap in the front of the car, and he's going to jump in the car, and then he's going to pump. So first of all, I'm going to keep it closed. Right. First of all, I'm going to keep closed, and then he's going to pump. So if you go on, yeah, go on. On, so you open it, and off. And you don't traditionally have to do this with a one-way valve. If you're just using a straw, this is the way to do it. But I'll just show you. This is kind of best practice. So then on and off. And what you're looking for is air bubbles. And I can't see any air bubbles in here actually. Then on and off.
And if you pass the camera, I can shake it.
Okay?
Yeah.
So on, then off.
It's important when you're releasing not just to like throw your foot back, but to do it slowly.
On.
So slowly down,
and then off.
and then slowly up.
Then on, and then wait to stay on. Stay on, yeah.
Keep your foot down. Don't
then I'm
take it off.
locking off. So I'm locked off. Okay.
It's locked off, so I can take my foot off. But again, just don't throw your foot back up, because otherwise you'll mess it up.
So then I've just basically locked it off here. That's tight. Then I can take this off here. Take that off there. Shove the this bleed nipple cover back on there, like so. That's basically all done. And then go around to the front. You can see my reservoirs come down a bit. And I can just top that reservoir up with a bit of more brake fluid, a bit of DOT4.
Up the brake fluid. Make sure you get a bit of tissue, blue roll. You take the cap off. Make sure you put a cravat around the
side. That's what we like to call it in the trade, cravat. So just tuck that in there.
Put it next to the clutch one. Wind it round to there. You tuck it in between there. It'll probably stay.
So
There you go.
the deluxe cravat, and then you get your brake fluid, and again,
Stop
make sure
for.
you wear gloves in this because it quite nasty stuff. It makes your skin go numb. It's quite nasty.
Yeah.
If you don't get it in your eyes, or
So the bottle's on its side because it's big bottle.
so it means it doesn't slurp everywhere. Let's see if that works. How am I doing?
All right. So don't overfill it. Okay. Put a bit in. That's it. That's perfect for now. So fill it up, and then crack on. Here we're at the passenger side, so left-hand side in the UK. Front disc, so obviously jack the car up, got it supported on the jacking points, and then just going to take off the disc. Again, it's got these retaining screws. I'm going to go with my impact screwdriver and hope these come off a bit nicer. See, someone's actually put some paint marks, see if they spin. Interesting, never seen that before. Alright. Try to just hit my thumb. Sometimes it's worth giving it a couple of cracks just to see if they can be. So, a little bit more. It's not moving at all. Give it a go on the other one. Can't sometimes drilling these things out, but don't want to get to that point. So I'm just going to stand up and properly club it some. That was loose. And then this one, the one with the paint mark. Bingo bango. So, sometimes some extra force does help. Again, the impact screwdriver is a very good tool in your arsenal. Otherwise, as I said before, you've got to drill these out. You're left with the thread in there. It's the right mess. Much nicer to do it that way. Right, so then grab our 12mm single hex. I'm always using single hex for potentially rusty bolts. Come in here. First one's loose. Second one down here. See that? Down here. Second one's loose. I'm going to show you how thin these pads are. It's ridiculous. Guess who's back? Jimmy's back.
Yeah, Jimmy.
This is going to shock you.
Paper thin. Papa.
Look at that. Wonder what the back one's saying. Not much better.
So get the other one just to.
Yeah, I'll get the other pads.
Look
at the difference.
one is paper thin. And
It's just ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. Again, I've just put this up round here. You can, some people bunge it up from there, but as long as you don't bend in this plate too much, then you can probably get away with leaving it there. 17mm on a single hex. Just come around here. See that? Crack that one. And again. That one's cracked. Okay. And this is all just so we can get the old disc out. So just taking the last, just 2 bolts on there, 17mm heads. I can take that off. Sometimes you have to give it a bit of a belt.
If you don't want it anymore.
You don't want it anymore. Obviously you don't just do a disc you want, because they can break. This one is on. There we go.
Done.
So you see the lip on that? That's a huge lip on that. So
Easiest way of showing it, look. See. And also all of these scoring. So
these are, some people would use them again. I'm not using that again. Not when someone's worn the pads down to the ladder. So on with the new discs. So again, you want it like that. So it's going, the groove's going towards the back of the car. So this is the one we want.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure the hub is nice and clean, free of debris or any crap, particularly on the actual bit where the dislocates on this back here. Good. Get our copper slip. So just lining up this with the holes. So there we have it. Okay, so just going to put these little retaining screws in to get it buttoned up. And the other one, again, dash a copper slip. You never regret putting a little bit of copper slip on one of these bolts, one of these little screws, because then it will actually come out for you next time. Or the person who does it, who isn't you maybe, will like you, even though you may never meet them. It's a good karma thing, isn't it?
Car karma.
Car karma.
Million.
Because I usually find people just snapped a bolt and then left it. Right, okay. So that's done, that's all in. And then we can get the hanger back on. So again, the flathead screwdriver, you can just, these are where the pad moves. You can just make sure there's no excessive build-up of crap in here. So, here we go. You know, you could sand these, but in reality it's just to make sure there's just nothing excessive in there. So yeah, this comes in here. Again, we've got our 17mm. Just going to copper slip both of these. That's one in, the other one. That's there. Okay, and the small breaker bar, not as mental as the people who did this last time. Small breaker, you want it on there tight, so fair enough. You don't go mental. So, my arm has actually been calibrated, so
Alright.
so
Nice.
Done. So then we can chuck the caliper, but we need to put the caliper back to wind it back in. Again, this isn't handed, it's just basically pushing it back. So I've got this plate over here, a nice big plate. It's number 9 from this kit, but it could be different. It just has to fit in here like that. See that? Yeah. And go backwards. The plate stops it moving, and then get it nice and square. Get it as square as possible on there. So we get this tool set up like this, and then we get the adjustable spanner on here. And you want to just basically, so you're not using that to wind it, you're just unwinding this. And unwinding that is basically forcing this piston back. See that? Easy.
It's called Round the World Down.
There we go. Living the dream. Look at it. Look at it go. And then to get it off, just go a bit like that. Off is loose. Bingo. And that comes in here. And then we can just get the pads on. Got the pad. And this hasn't got one of those little things on the back of it. None of them have. So in that respect, I'm going to have to put some on here, on the tip, like that. And I'll just get some, put it all over the back of that pad. Can help with brake squeal. So, brake squeal's that annoying little sound you hear, high pitch. Eee! You know, really annoying. You want to avoid that, unless you want to listen to that. You like that kind of thing. Best to get started a little bit both sides. In the bottom. And we're in. You can hear the sound changes a little bit when you're fully in. Right, so again, so this pad over here, there, and there, and then all over the back of it. Beautiful. So then this will be more obvious if you come around a bit. So look, do you see how this goes there? This is going in here. And then you can just tap, tap, tap. He's in. And final step, grab your caliper. And you notice how it just goes straight over the top. But one thing you need to do here, do you see? This is important actually. These are the sliders, okay? These should be free to slide to a certain extent. Ooh, that's not really. So what you can do is you can pluck them out. You can pluck them out and grease them. It looks okay for today. But yeah, just make sure they're moving. That should be possible to slide in and out. Yeah, it is. Okay, and this one. And that and out. Yeah, so they're moving there, okay. So you slide them in. Put this over the top. Okay. And if they weren't sliding, you would just get some grease, some CV boot grease or similar stuff. You can probably get specialist grease. I tend to use CV boot grease. Then copper slip the 12 mils. That's in there. The bottom one. Then let's grab the 12 mil. Again, don't go mental tighten these up. Great, 12 more bolts. You just that's fine. Okay, that's good. And then all we need to now is bleed it. So you see this one's lost its cover, which is never a particularly great start. And grab the 10mm signet. The process is exactly the same. You get your bleeding thing. This one, see, it snapped off a little bit, so you can just cut the end off. It seems to happen periodically, so just cut the end off, stick it at the top, bleed that one, and then go to the other side, bleed that one, and then well, fit the brake, obviously, the brakes and discs and pads, bleed that one, and then you're done. Car's down the deck, obviously do all your wheel nuts up tight, and then just check that you're up to the fill lines for the max there.